Brad Pearce, and I'm here with Stewart Oldmeadow, bringing you the market update for 2018 and the spring market.
Yes, yeah. Well, before we get to the market, have you recovered from Halloween yet, Brad?
Oh, Halloween. Well, Halloween was a big event, of course, in the Beauview Estate in East Ivanhoe, and there was lots of fun and frivolity there.
Now,
so yes, totally recovered now.
Do we show everyone a photo of your house and your get-up, your short shorts and the whippersnipper? And
yeah, look, I suppose we could show a quick little snap, but perhaps we'll just get back to business. We are, of course, estate agents, Stuart.
Okay. So back to the market?
Back to the market.
Right, well, over the past few months, we have seen the Melbourne clearance rate fall under 50% for the first time in a number of years. And there's no doubt that the market has tightened. Obviously, the media has covered this extensively.
Yes.
And that's both locally and Melbourne-wide. And yeah, buyer confidence is a little bit lower. And I suppose there's a second tier to what's happened, and that's the banks really tightening with their lending processes and their policies. And what we're hoping is that they are very much scrutinising every loan and every application at the minute, so that is taking a little bit longer. The findings from the Banking Royal Commission will be out in February. So we're hoping that once that comes out, that maybe they might just loosen the reins a little bit.
Hopefully they might get on with business and start lending money more. Of course, they do need to lend money to make money.
Exactly right. So we're hoping that will just be a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction and life will go on.
Yeah. And of course, we've got to put it in context for the last 10 years, I suppose. We have seen a huge increase in the Melbourne marketplace over the last 10 years. So yes, we've quietened off a little bit at the moment, but overall, the numbers have been amazing over the last 10 years. So we're actually in a really good place in terms of market value, aren't we?
When you look at the stats, it's 77.3% higher on median prices in 10 years, and
which is amazing.
The last 5 years alone have been 41.5%.
Yeah.
So really, we're coming from a very, very high place.
Absolutely. One of the marketplace that we are seeing is incredibly strong is the first home buyers. We've certainly had a couple of sales take place just this week with some apartments and some units. So that's an encouraging sign because that'll actually move through the marketplace in due course, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose when we start to look at average days on market, it's hard to get statistics just purely locally. So when we talk Melbourne, we're talking 41 days now compared to 30. Now, if you talk interstate and other territories, they'd be very happy with 45 days.
Yeah.
So my take on it, and I'm sure you're of the same belief, that our take is Melbourne is experiencing a soft landing, but there's not a crash in sight. And so the way we view it is that possibly with that gap narrowing, now's the opportune time. If you're looking to upgrade, it's a very, very good time to do so. Likewise, if you are looking for an investment, there is genuinely less competition at the moment. There are some very good opportunities out there.
Great time to buy, isn't it?
There is, yeah.
I was reading an article during the week, Stuart, from an economist, and he was mentioning that really it's incredibly important now, more than ever, that you're buying property that has great infrastructure improvement around it, has employment opportunities, transport, all those key things about real estate. And of course, good news is Van Newell absolutely has all those bits and pieces to go with it, so it's a great place to be buying in the market.
Absolutely, no, I fully agree with that.
Now, in terms of our rental market, let's go into our property management department.
So I suppose, again, Melbourne's vacancy rate hovers at around 2% and does fluctuate a little bit.
Yeah.
Ours at the moment, we always want to be better than the Melbourne average. We're at 0.49%.
Which is amazing.
Which is fantastic. And so to put that into context, we manage slightly over 2,300 properties. That's only 11 properties in total that remain vacant at the moment.
That's very strong, isn't it?
And our average days on market on the rental side of things is 24 days.
Yeah, great. Obviously, keeping up with technology, what we have found over the last year is we've started a new program where our property managers open their diaries to appointments for rental properties. And this gives great flexibility. So the theory is that tenants go in, they register, and they lock in inspection times which work with the agents, etc. And it allows more flexible times to be available. And as soon as they book a time, then it opens up to everybody. It's a system that's working incredibly well. And I think that We're getting larger numbers through our open for inspections because we're doing them at times which suit the bulk of people. And of course they are registered, so we've got a great database of tenants that are actually looking in the marketplace at this point in time too. So that we're finding that's working incredibly well.
Absolutely.
Pricing remains steady across the board. We're leasing quickly. Properties are certainly leasing, going back to that 11 properties that are vacant at the minute. So that's incredibly well. An example, we had a property that leased last month for $1,200 up in the Riggy in Eaglemont. It was on the market for just a couple of weeks. So certainly high-end properties are certainly in demand at this point in time.
And it tends to be that both the residential sales and rental markets don't tend to run at the same time. So what we're seeing here is almost what you'd expect.
That's right.
Now, one of our key drivers internally is that we focus on our rental arrears. Now, we are very, very proud of our team, our property management team. Our arrears over 7 days are 0.4%. Now, again,
which is amazing considering that 2,300 properties, and that's a very small percentage of properties that are actually in arrears. So
when you look at the industry standard, we're about a quarter of, so we're very, very proud of them there. So so I suppose moving on now onto the commercial side of things.
Yeah, the commercial arena from all accounts seems to be quite stable at this point in time. The prices are certainly holding up, and there's a few less buyers out in the marketplace, but the buyers that are coming along are seeing good value and certainly putting their hand up and buying property. Leasing in the industrial areas is certainly very strong. The retail sector is sort of waning a little bit at this point in time, which we can appreciate.
Yeah, a little bit stagnant on that front. So and the retail market has changed and moved. And so next 6 weeks for us, leading up to the Christmas, we've got 6 auctions ahead of us.
For the
commercial team.
Yeah.
And so including a retail shop on Upper Heidelberg Road in Ivanhoe, we're talking somewhere between $8,000 and $850 for that. The return on that's $38,000 per annum.
Yeah.
So that should go well.
Yeah.
There's also a shop, 42 Main Street in Greensboro, returning $59,000. It's Hello World on a renewed 4-year lease.
Yeah.
We're talking for that 1.25, 1.35. So. And again, we would anticipate there'd be good interest in that property, and Greensboro is really moving along in leaps and bounds.
Absolutely moving along, and we're going back to what the economist was talking about, buying in areas which have great transport and hubs. That's what it's
that infrastructure, absolutely. So overall on the commercial side, I'm talking with Paul Evans about it, it's a cautious market, but we're seeing people make deliberate decisions and long-term views and quality property still selling well.
Absolutely. And of course, we've got to remember that buying real estate is not about necessarily buying today and selling tomorrow. It is a 10-year proposition. So if you're buying at this point in time and holding, that's the great thing to do in real estate, isn't it? Absolutely.
There are great opportunities out there. We certainly have a number of properties where the vendors are priced to sell. They are absolutely listening to the market, and leading up to this Christmas time, if you're looking for an investment or you're looking to upgrade, we urge you, please give us a call at Miles. We'd love to assist you.
Happy to make a private appointment to get you through.
Thank you very much for watching.
And we'll be catching up with you again at the Christmas lights just prior to Christmas.